Hello, I just want to check to see if I'm live. Let me know, guys. Um, I would appreciate it. And to see if I'm live on both YouTube and it looks like I am. It looks like I am. If I am, great. If not, that sucks because then it's only limited views here. I'm having a hell of a time trying to get this uploaded onto YouTube as well. Excuse me. God damn it. You guys weren't. Let me see, guys. Let me see what I can do here. Let me see, guys, what I can do here. If this will work. Because I don't know. It doesn't seem like it wants to. If you're out there, let me know. I would appreciate it. And how the sound is. I heard something and it sounded like I was like the Kryptonians in the Superman 2 movie. Or Zod in the Man of Steel movie, actually. That's what it sounded like. Like Zod. But let me know, guys. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me, and if it's okay. Um, this is pathetic. What's happening here? It's just not working. Man. I guess it. Okay. Okay. It looks like it's live on X and on YouTube. Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to check in with you guys. Hopefully you're there. Hopefully you can see me, you can hear me, and I sound okay. I want to test it out, actually. I just want to test it out. Okay. It sounds pretty good. It sounds better than it has been sounding because I sound like, again, I sound like Zod, the Michael Shannon version in Man of Steel when he was trying to communicate with Kal-El. Anyway, what a hassle, guys. I don't know. Ever since I lost, you know, I guess my ability to access my main Gmail account and my YouTube account, it's been a hell of a time trying to get this on board. But because I was able to go on Facebook, YouTube, and on X, and now I'm not able to go on YouTube, and I wasn't able to go on Facebook. But anyway, enough of that crap. If you're out there, let's talk Superman. Talk about whether you loved it, didn't, and so on. We can go back and forth on it. I would like to discuss it. I just want to talk about a few things about it. First, I liked it very much. It's arguably, probably, the most comic book version of Superman. I think it is. Um, we even pros they like to talk about how I always resented when I was younger, like when they say, well, comic books are absurd, so therefore you got to go, extreme, and they're not absurd. It's a different form of heroism, of heroic fiction. It's just a different form of it. That's all it is. Um, but from the top down, David Cornsweet makes a great new Superman. I thought he was great. He looked the part. He acted a part. He was very human. I know people don't seem to want that, even though Chris Reeve was very human. And when people say that, David Cornsweet, his Superman cried. It's like, I think Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, Superman cried. Lex cried. It's like, yeah, and Superman in the original cried. He snapped. He lost it. He screamed after Lois died. He couldn't contain it, and he blew up. Hey, that's okay. What happened in a Superman in this movie? Certain things that happened. I get it. So it's definitely emphasis on the man in Superman, and I appreciate that. This idea, but that's a bad thing. It's like his humanity is part of him. That's what makes him great. That's what makes him more accessible to the audience. That's what makes him, because he's a powerful being. He's like a godlike being. And I think David Cornsworth said something in an interview once where I think he was fighting for the shorts. And supposedly Zack Snyder said that he couldn't make it work. Well, I don't know what he can make work, honestly. Uh, Man of Steel is a good movie. 300 is a good movie, but it's a fluke in a sense where Frank Miller was on set in 300. That was his story. He wanted to honor that. Christopher Nolan was a producer on Man of Steel. He had a little eyeball on him to check him, so he wouldn't fuck up. And it was overall good. And Henry Cavill was great, and there were elements of there that was really good. Russell Crowe was great. But this is better. This is a better Superman movie for sure. No doubt about it. And I know there's people resistant to that idea. It's like, we want Henry back. It's over. I mean, yeah, he hasn't had a Superman movie for 12 years now. You know, the Superman versus Batman thing doesn't really count. The Justice League was a mess. Even when Zack Snyder brought it back, it's better than a Joss Whedon one. That's for sure. But we rewatched it a long time. Um, it doesn't bring that up in me. This one I saw a few times already. This James Gunn Superman, and again, I wasn't sure whether he would be able to pull off the heroic because he's a very goofy guy. He's into the ensemble. He's into humor and aliens and all this stuff, and therefore I don't know if he had the ability to tell a straight story about a superhero, the greatest superhero, and he did. However he did, he did. He knows what he's doing. He's a good storyteller, and liked it very much, definitely. So let me know if you're out there, if you guys can hear me. I would appreciate it. Um, I'd like to bounce back and forth with you guys if you're out there. And again, I want to see if I can see it on. It is live now on here, and I can see it, or I can't. What's going on here? Okay. Okay, good. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So it's live on YouTube and X. The eyeballs are low because, again, this is my backup account here, Foston. It's a Pigman account. But again, the factors, the movie, John Malin has this interesting theory, one that I would like to believe is true. If you haven't seen it, I say check out. I'm going to talk spoilers. Um, if you haven't seen it and you're into comics, I don't get it. I don't get why you haven't seen it. I really don't. It's a new Superman movie. You know, maybe some people are afraid that they can't maintain the fact that they didn't like the trailers and all that, and the trailers were not great. I mean, you look at Man of Steel, the trailers were fantastic. The movie didn't live up to the trailers. The trailers were greater than the movie. This one, the trailers were mediocre. They had elements here and there, but the movie's 10 times better than what we were promised by the trailers. The marketing sucked flat out. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the marketing crew really stepped it up late in the game. And I think the marketing crew, was James Gunn at first. He was the marketing crew. And clearly, that's not his forte. He's a filmmaker. He's a storyteller. He's not a marketing guy. The first image of him putting on the boot with a baggy, flabby-looking garbage bag suit, not good. And in the movie, it works, the suit. It's in movement. It looks like it's a solid suit. I hope they have a little more definition next time, just to give it a little more Superman classic look. But there are elements in there that are really good. Lex Luthor's great. Lex Luthor was great. It's funny, that actor, Nicholas Holt, he played the Beast in the old First Class X-Men movies. He was in a number of movies. He's really good. And he was up to play Superman for this. He was also up to play Batman for the Batman, up against Robert Pattinson. And that's interesting. You know, he was up to play both the icons. And I don't think he would have worked as Superman. He makes a great Lex Luthor. A very, dedicated to the destruction of Superman, envious. I love the fact that it's brought up explicitly in the film. His envy, and how he actually puts it, my envy will save us, something along those lines, at least, if I remember correctly. and he's a big guy. He's tall. He's like 6'2" or 6'3", and David Cornsweet is 6'4". He's the tallest Superman since Chris Reeve. They were both 6'4", and that's important. You need that iconic look. Um, Henry Cavill was 6'1". I think Brennan Routh is 6'3". Um, and they made him look taller, Henry Cavill, I think, than he is. But this one, he's just a big guy, fills up the suit well. He has a very all-star Superman style. From the suit to the non-definition of the suit to the golly nature of Superman to the gosh nature of Superman um, to the evil of Lex Luthor. Flat out evil and great. I love that kind of Lex Luthor. He's not some hokey character. I mean, for all Gene Hackman's great. I love Gene Hackman. You never saw him act. He was such a natural, and there were elements in there that were good, but a little too hokey with that stupid clown suit that he wore. Very dated. He had the bushy hair like in the '70s. He had the bell bottoms and the long collars, and it looked it sure looks terrible, terrible. He should have went with the bald, just to fit in. And that's why this one is in a lot of ways, again, is probably the most faithful to the comic book. And the comic book, of course, there are many, many, many iterations of Superman, of course. But in terms of, it's like a science fiction leans more towards that than your average Superman movie. There were elements of that in Man of Steel, but this one more so. And anyway, so if you haven't seen it, I would say check out, guys. Get out if you haven't seen it. I'm going to talk those spoilers, but yeah, John Malin, my fellow king, Comics King, he has a great theory, and I haven't heard it from anyone else. Because people are okay. Let me say this: conservatives, right, who are bitching and moaning about this movie, they don't give a fuck for comics, pop culture, entertainment, art. They don't. I don't hear from them. They don't give a shit about it. What the hell are they saying? They can't wait to trash it. It's like they have no investment. We have the investment as fans. We love Superman. I love reading the comics. I love watching the movies. I love Superman. So throughout the entire time waiting for this movie, I was hoping it was good. Never shitting on it. I was hoping it was good. The Zeros were shitting on it left and right. And they're still doing it now, doubling down, because they can't change course. They're locked into this doomsday. Hollywood's over. Everything's woke. A lie. This movie's not woke at all. It's not. There's the element about his heritage, Kal-El's heritage Superman. And they brought in an element that is pissing off a lot of people, especially, again, the conservatives who don't give a shit for Superman anyway. So I don't care what they say. I don't care what Matt Walsh says, or a sportscaster, Fat Pig, what's his name? Mike and a Mad Dog? Mike, whatever his name was, trashing it like crazy. He's like, who the hell are you, bitch? You're just a sports guy. Who cares what you think? And I mean that. Ben Shapiro supposedly trashed it. Who cares what he says? He's always talking about politics and religion and politics, and that's his thing. Our thing, as comic fans, most of us at least, the kings at least, the ones that have seen it, like it. Some love it. But there's something about that. You make heroic fiction. You love superheroes. You want to do them one day. You want to write and draw them. I wanted to write and draw superheroes when I was young. I wanted to write and draw all the ones that I loved growing up. Superman, Batman, Hulk, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Captain America, X-Men. All these characters, which is why I really love drawing on Comics Day Kings. I get an opportunity to show a little of what that might look like. Me drawing these superheroes that I loved growing up. I see a little more eyeballs here, so thanks, guys. But guys, yeah, any comments, please chime in. Whether you like it, hate it, whatever. Let's go at it. I mean, I don't mind. But the heritage of Superman in this one, it's supposedly confirmed by linguists across the world in this movie that the message of Jor-El and Kara, I forgot her name, not Lara, that they wanted Superman to dominate the Earth, rule it, and impregnate all women, as many women as he can, to repopulate it as like Kryptonian light. It's a dark idea, something that we haven't seen before, and people are losing their shit over it. Where I found it interesting as hell. First of all, it was a real left turn. Like, whoa, okay, but there was something about it that I didn't quite buy it, and I didn't have the theory that John had, but I'm sure as hell hope it's true, because there's the element there that maybe was tampered with. Maybe Brainiac, through Luthor, was doing that. Trying to discredit not only Superman on Earth, but his whole heritage and who the Kryptonians were and what they are made of, and so on. That's an interesting element, James Gunn. So John's theory is that it was Brainiac, and that for this one we get this idea that Superman is still, regardless of his heritage, he's still a good man. He's still Superman. Like in Red Sun, regardless of the fact that he landed in a Soviet Russia, he's still in a lot of ways Superman. And I have a little understanding of that in a sense where I was raised Muslim, and I said, fuck it, I'm out in my mid-teens. I want nothing to do with it. You're not locked in by your heritage if that's the case. If you have bad upbringing or people, bad ideas, at least that they adopted, that they didn't even choose themselves, they were born into it. But this one is interesting because, again, it gives you this idea, okay, let's say it's true. Let's say it's true that the Kryptonians were a warlike force, wanted to dominate, they were imperialists, let's say, globally, right? Or galaxy-wide. So what? In that sense where Superman is still Superman, he's still good. And Pa Kent tells him at one point, he's like, son, your choices basically define who you are. And I'm proud of you. And he started to break down. It's tough, man. It's tough not to shed a tear. It's tough. And if you don't, that's fine. But this idea, we all cry, we all feel, we love, and this idea where you're going to deny that for a hero is like, that's not heroic. It's one thing to do it. Nothing like movies gets me to tear up because it's the high emotion, the stakes, the characters you fall in love with, what happens to them, and they bring out in you these longings that you've had in your own life, and sometimes it's irresistible. You succumb to it. Whereas others are terrified of even showing any kind of humanity. It's like, it's ridiculous. This is, there was one line in the Joss Whedon Justice League, which was worth the price of admission. Joss Whedon got whatever he got from Zack Snyder, who was on to his own thing. It's so weird, You get these icons, and they gave it to Zack Snyder, figuring he knew what he was doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. He makes shit movies in general. If he's not, doesn't he have a real eyeball on him? He's gonna make terrible movies. Rebel Moon came and went, zero, no interest. Remember they were supposed to make a third one, fourth one, something like that? No. That's Zack Snyder. Now, on one level, he can make things look pretty interesting visually, but then again, he came from commercial, literally making commercials, so he had to make things that looked visually cool. He took that, but he didn't bring the element of the storytelling with him. He didn't. This is the first time we have a Superman movie that was directed by the guy who also wrote it. So that's interesting to me. And I hate the word auteur. It's such a pretentious term, but that's what it is, technically speaking. So there we go. You got a writer, director of this movie. I like that. There's more investment there. He's not relying on someone to be great on one. He says, okay, I'm going to write the hell out of this, and I'm going to try to direct the hell out of it. And I'm more invested in it. It's like, to me, why some of the best comics are by the individual person who writes and draws them. Some of the best comics. Same thing here. Again, this is I don't want to be caught by the moment. I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. But I really enjoy this. I enjoy the prospect, the potential of this new universe to see what kind of Batman is in this DC universe. That's interesting as hell. Is it going to be what John Malin said, maybe the blue, cowl and cape? I always got offended by that, but it can be made to work. You look at the Wolverine and Deadpool. How the hell can you get a yellow and blue costume of Wolverine make it work? They made it work. They made it work. But Batman is a creature of the night. The light blue cowl and cape, the gray, doesn't work. It doesn't work. It works maybe as a member of the Justice League where he's out there in the daytime and so on. It may do that. But when he's on Gotham duty, maybe have a black costume and have a lighter one with more tech on it. Clearly when he's with these guys. Hey, Art. 1 second. I don't. Is it bad sound? Art? Is a sound bad? I just chose my 1 second. Tell me if this works. Is this better right now? Tell me if this works, Art. Because there was something here, mute microphone. Did I mute the Shure microphone? Am I unmuted now? Did I mute the Shure microphone? It's double, so I was trying to figure out. Very echoey. What the hell is this? It's been happening every single time, ever since I moved to my new place. I've had this, and let me try to knock this out. Is that better, guys? Let me see if I can knock out a few things here and see what's... Okay. Okay, good. I got that. When you mute, I only hear one of you. It's better. Okay. Let me do that. Mute microphone. I just muted microphone. Is this better right now? Tell me, guys, Comics Exposed and Art, let me know right now if this is better, because this is the trick now. This is the thing. I just muted. There was an option here to mute microphone. And now I am only on the Shure microphone. And that sucks. Thanks, Art. God damn it, guys. See, that option was not even there last time. Thanks, Lux. Appreciate it. Oh, man, guys. I am sorry. I've been yapping for a while now. Close to 20 minutes. Okay. God damn it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, man. That sucks. Anyway, let's talk Superman, guys. If you're here, if you got some time, if you've seen it, throw it out. What you like, what you didn't, so on. Anything. If you hated it, let me know. I'll fight you on it. That's the thing, Comics Exposed. I was using one microphone. I chose here my Shure MV7 Plus, right? And then on the mic option, it says here, mute microphone. I didn't know that was an option here. I never had that problem before. Okay. Thanks, guys. Is it loud enough? Is it clear enough? And again, guys, come on in. Come on. Let's talk Superman. I got a little time here. Let's talk Superman, guys. Let me know what you think about it. And if you haven't seen it, what the hell, guys? If you're comic book fans and haven't seen it, what the hell? I don't get it. I'm still a kid, right? Superman's out, I go watch it. Thanks, Daniel. Good, because it was, god damn it, I was speaking for like 20 minutes. That's terrible. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, man. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to bounce back and forth. Aspects that you loved, didn't love, hated, Some people say, it sucks. Loud and clear. Thanks, Comics Exposed. Appreciate it, man. And you are on YouTube, so my YouTube is working right now. It was not working for 3 times. I tried. Daniel Nolan says, best movie I've seen in years. Going to see it again this weekend. Absolutely. Same here, man. I saw it a few times already, guys. That's awesome, Lux. Awesome. It's just, and again, we were looking after Man of Steel. the morose, darker version. I understand it's a different version, and that's fine and all, but yeah, different version, but it's not really the version of Superman. Meaning, and again, also people are caught up in the Chris Reeve. Chris Reeve is my Superman. It's like, yeah, I get it, but Superman's a universal character. He existed 40 years before Chris Reeve. So, come on, 40 years literally. Superman had his own identity, and then he took human form as Chris Reeve, and people said, okay, okay, Chris Reeve, that's it. There's more to Superman than just an actor that plays him. While I love Chris Reeve, Henry Cavill was great. Brandon Routh was really good doing the follow-up Superman Chris Reeve style. I thought, Art says, I thought it was okay. It was fun, but not great. 7/10. I loved it. I really liked it. I mean, I will say that. I don't know what I would give it number-wise. I don't know. Maybe let me sit on it for a little while. But yeah, it's definitely a family movie. I will say that. Despite the curses, people said, oh, they're a shit word. Yeah, I said that when I was a kid. We were even talking about that on Kangs the other day. You know. Daniel says, how do you see Batman entering this universe? I mentioned it before, a little thoughts on it, but audiences seem to enjoy a more grounded, dark version of him. It will be interesting to see how James Gunn pulls it off. Very interested to see what it is, because let's just say it won't be the Ben Affleck version who was on a rampage to kill Superman without finding out who he is, what he's really made of, and allowing himself to be manipulated by Lex Luthor. I don't like that. Batman's a lot smarter than that. A lot smarter. He would like to investigate who the hell this guy is and maybe find out who he is, Clark Kent, and then, you know what, this guy's doing good. So let me talk to him and make sure that's the case, and so on. Instead, he goes out there trying to kill him. Stupid. This one, as I said, John Millen likes the light blue cowl and cape and the gray and the light gray with the oval and all that. I'm not crazy about that because he is a creature of the night, but I would say this. Hey, SXS. Yeah, you know what? It's my old channel. It's my backup channel, SXS. I also had a backup channel just in case. And what happens? Yeah, I can't get access to my main channel, so here we go. I'm glad to be here, guys. I've missed this. I really enjoyed doing live streams with you guys. But back to Daniel about the Batman of this universe. I'm very interested in finding out what that looks like, who it is, and again, maybe we can have a double dose. Meaning this: when he's with the Justice League, he can't pick and choose whether he goes out at night or not. Gotham, it's always nighttime, right? So wear your dark black cape and cowl, and then when you're in the Justice League, maybe amp it up a little. Wear a little more of a super suit. Put on the blue. That's fine by me. But have both options. Just personally speaking, have both options. Why not? And I want them to become friends. I want Superman and Batman to become friends. I want them to work together however they get there. They might get there through a battle at first, whatever. Make it interesting and fun, but end up being really good friends. And there was one element, the Joss Whedon element that he brought to Justice League movie, which sucked, but it was worth the price of admission hearing Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne telling Alfred when they were trying to resurrect Superman. He was talking about Clark Kent and Superman. He tells Alfred, he's more human than me. And he looks at Alfred, and Alfred's like, and Alfred can't argue. And he's like, huh? And there's truth in that. He was raised by very wholesome parents in America, old-fashioned values, a good guy. He has a job. He has a girlfriend or wife. Batman doesn't. Batman's a loner. Batman's a dark figure. Interesting. That was probably the best line, worth the price of admission for that movie alone, because it was a moment that was true. It was like, wow. And makes also Batman, despite his obsession, self-aware. Self-aware. We need that in these heroes. Conscious about their goodness also, not questioning it. I remember the Daredevil movie that Ben Affleck played also. He was on a roof, it was raining, I think, and he's like, I'm not the bad guy, I'm not the bad guy, I'm not the bad guy. He kept telling himself that. It's like, nah, I don't like my heroes like that. I can't stand that. I can't stand that shit. I'm not the bad guy. It's like, you're that doubtful about your goodness? Come on. Comics Exposed says apparently there are no such things as characters anymore, just ciphers, agendas, and messages. Gun Superman was almost the exact opposite of Real Superman. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. Okay, in terms of, you mean negatively, right? Because Superman was such an icon in the first one. I mean, he was truth, justice, American way, and he said it with complete conviction. You know what I mean? And Lois laughs it off like, that's ridiculous. He goes, Lois, I never lie. But guys, there's something that these creators do. When they take on Superman, they have to look at what came before. And they don't want to replicate it. They just don't want to, they don't make Christopher Reeve light or Henry Cavill light. This is a very unique take on Superman, bringing out the humanity. He's Superman in this one. I like that. I like that. He's not afraid to express his anger or fear or love or happiness. He's not. I respect that. I like that in my heroes, where they're not suppressed. And not that you have to be out there, but again, Superman, Christopher Reeve Superman loses his shit at the end, defies his whole heritage, everything, to save the woman he loves. That's an act of passion, of humanity. It's like, no. He refused to accept it. And he snapped. If you remember, he even cried. And then he screamed and said, no. And went out there and, brought back time. However, people always want to make that, well, it's ludicrous. It's Superman. It's Mario Puzo, the guy who wrote The Godfather. Think about that also. That's incredible. The fact that they got him to do that. And the word is, I think his script was so long that they took the bulk of it, but cut a lot too. They took the core of it, at least. SXS says, I got your King's Table for one drawing. Looks good on. I'm like, well, thanks, SXS. Appreciate that. Thanks for getting it. I always appreciate the bidders. Thank you very much, man. And congrats for winning it. Thank you. Art Haida says, a balance would be nice. A serious calculating Batman, but a Bruce Wayne with some humanity. Absolutely. And I think in the James Gunn universe, that will be the case. Okay, Comics Exposed says, yes, negatively, it was a rough movie, man. Hey, to you, man, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I think maybe what you're doing and some others doing is like, Christopher Reeve, you're locked into that. It's like, that's not Christopher Reeve. It's not. It's not Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve has gained legendary status, Not just for what he did in the movies, even though two of them were great. Fourth one was horrifically bad. And he had something to do with that, guys. He wrote it. So, come on. Yeah. I would love to, Brandon May. I would love to, but every time I, reach out or ask us, I don't know. I mean, he follows me. I follow him. I comment. He reposts my stuff. I repost his stuff. I drew him and David Wood as Muhammad because someone here, I don't think it's you, but someone here actually bought my Muhammad cartoons or Peaceful Death Threats, and I drew them both as Muhammad in these index cards. So, so do that. I would love to. I would love to go on a show, talk about it, and maybe even have differences of opinion about where we're coming from to take on this threat. I'm coming from yes, an intellectual aspect, yes, ideological aspect, but also an entertaining aspect. That's why I'm my Pigman. However, it can be said that it is didactic. It's not. It's not. I tried to integrate everything as much as I could within the story, guys. I believe, at least for myself, if I can entertain myself with it and get a chuckle and laugh and think about certain things, okay, good. So yeah, it's the specter of Christopher Reeve that people are not letting go of. Like, that's my Superman. I get it. He was just an actor across history. Superman was established in 1938. That movie came out in 1978. 40 years, guys, of Superman stories and shows and everything, right? And he's one of the actors, and he was, he looked the part like the comic books. And he was great. There was no winking at the screen. As sincere as possible. He was great at it. And I loved his attitude about Marlon Brando also, where Marlon Brando, he didn't like Marlon Brando's attitude because it was one part they shot 1 and 2 together at the same time, and I guess one part in a different form he's supposed to be embracing Marlon Brando, and then also he's convulsing from something, and Marlon Brando was watching him smirking. Marlon Brando, I don't know him, I didn't know him clearly. Asshole, great actor. Everything I hear, what an asshole. He was smirking, chuckling, and Chris Reeve let him have it. He goes, "Look, I'm trying to take this seriously. I'm trying to do everything I can. This is the part that I'm playing." Supposedly, Brando wrote him a letter and said, "I respect what you're doing." I think he had to have that smack back. And I respect that. I respect Chris Reeve for doing that. And I love Chris Reeve. I love his Superman. And it's horrific what happened to him. And I'll tell you one thing. I try to watch that documentary about him. I can't do it, guys. I can't. It is, I'll watch it. I can. All that, yes. Wow. I can't watch without blubbering. I can't. Blubbering. Anyway, we will, I will definitely just take it in, but it is tough. See him in his private life and what he went through. Horrific. Daniel says, what are your thoughts on Superman's real parents' message to him? This is the first Superman movie where his parents were evil. I thought it was, first of all, interesting as hell. I was like, whoa, taken aback, a little defensive. I know people are using that to say it's shit movie because of that. Yeah, whatever. I want to go for a ride. I want to go for an interesting ride in stories and movies, and I want something different. And this was clearly different. I mean, there were always these noble characters, always. I think Burns was, in John Burns' version, a little antiseptic, a little cold, if I remember correctly. They had no hair on them, no brows, no hair. I think that's what they were. They were like, it was interesting. But I thought it was an interesting take. And Daniel, I'm with cartoonist John Malin, and I hope it's true, that this was manipulated by Brainiac, the supercomputer from Krypton, who ends up on Earth. And I don't remember the details about it. They always change it, different stories. But that could be interesting as hell at his first shot. Because Brainiac hasn't appeared in any movies as far as I know. The supercomputer in Superman 3 was supposed to be Brainiac, but it didn't do that. They had Richard Pryor as some, speaking of Richard Pryor, Marlon Brando plays Jor-El in the first movie. Supposedly Richard Pryor and him had sex. Pryor's wife caught them. It's crazy. That's another connection. Not the kind you want. But anyway, it's interesting, Daniel, because again, it adds this element about, despite that, he is still good. He is choosing to be good regardless. I like that. I respect that in the character and the writing. And on top of that, we might get this possibility. And it's a theory by a cartoonist, John Malin, but I hope it's true. And it's interesting. Only a comic book writer could really think of that stuff anyway. It's really clever. And it's like, okay, how about if it's Brainiac fucking around and giving Lex Luthor the power of the nanites? Is that what it was? The mini computers and people? He created the engineer, maybe, gave it to Luthor, and then he gave him some knowledge. Because there's something about the little looks that he gives the engineer while she's discovering this new thing. And Luthor looks over with a slight grin. He's in the know about something. It's very possible that he knows that this is a false message. Just he wanted to bury Superman, not just physically, but reputation-wise. Bury his reputation and bury his heritage. To put a big question mark on, wait, this guy, he might still pretend to be good, but he's bad, and that's it. And that's where Batman comes in, this Batman universe, to be a little more suspicious maybe than even the other teammates might be. It'll be interesting, Let's go at it. Comics, I suppose. We'll definitely go at it. Back and forth, absolutely. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so Daniel, it might be the case and it might not, because you can get best of both worlds. You can have us left with this, damn, we don't want his heritage to be evil. And then you might be proven like, oh shit, they aren't. It was the evil who manipulated that message and made it seem like. Because there's something about also the contrast between their body language and how they're speaking and with the message that they said. It didn't look like they were delivering those words. It just didn't look like it, guys. They looked very peaceful, very at peace with what was happening. This horrific thing, their world's going away, and they're sending their son. Who the fuck wants their son to be a dictator? Who? And tell him go bang all this, bang every woman you can get. No parent would want that. No parent would want that at all. So there's something there, and if it is a case that it is Brainiac, awesome. We need a different villain, and he is a dangerous villain. Dangerous as hell. So that'll be awesome. And maybe he might even join forces with Lex Luthor. You know, I think there was something, someone mentioned that they became one in one movie. That could be interesting. Um, Comics exposed there was nothing inspiring about the Superman. He could hardly make a decision. Not true. I will definitely push back against that. He saves a day, Comics exposed. He saves a day. You know, he saves a day, guys. I mean, he's young into his career, right? It's the first fight he lost. He handled it pretty damn well. Went right back into the fray, as he says. When the guy says, when Ford tells him, you're not really, he goes, no can do. I got to go back into the fray. It was inspiring. He was getting beat down big time, and he kept getting back up. If that's not inspiring, Comics exposed, what the hell? You don't want your hero to always win. You got to knock him down. I mean, Pigman gets it, and his creator gets it in my story. You know, bad to the point where you don't know if they're going to make it. It's important to throw your heroes into hell and into the muck and see how they get out of it. So Superman took a beating in this, 100%. And he's victorious. So that's inspiring. What the hell? You know, Rocky goes into the fight, right, with Apollo Creed, knowing at one point, he realized it hits him. He knows he's not going to win. But he just wants to go the distance. That's his goal at that point. Just go the distance. Just don't fall. That's awesome. That's inspiring. He didn't have to win. That's inspiring. He didn't win. He was inspiring as hell to the audience, and then he got a second chance at it, you know? So Superman kept getting his ass kicked, and he kept getting back up. That's what heroes do. That's inspiring, Comics Exposed. So, hey, bring me some more, man. We'll definitely go at it. I love seeing new versions of these characters, new blood coming in, a new look at them. Because again, these are all individualists, all these directors, right? And again, this is the first time we get a writer-director making a Superman movie. That's new. I love that. And again, I'm very intrigued about what kind of Batman will come out of this universe. Very intrigued. I'm looking forward to that. SXS says a lot of positive buzz around this one. Might have to go see it. I would recommend seeing it. Again, you like superheroes? Come on, man. I mean, I don't get it, guys. People are telling me a lot. Some comic book fans. Yeah, I'm not sure. You haven't seen it? What the hell? There's a Superman movie coming out there right now, 2025. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. We know we've been burned by Hollywood. Yes, 100%. But the problem is this, guys. Because we've been burned so much, you go in there like a burn victim and say, this is not good. As you watch a good movie, it's like, this ain't good. This ain't good. You know, while it's good, it's like, damn, guys. Don't be so pessimistic. Don't, allow yourselves to take in something new and maybe like it. And don't put it up against Christopher Reeve or something, the icon, the iconic role they did. I like this Superman. I think he's great. The actor's great. He plays the part. He's a true Boy Scout. I mean, truly is. He's like Captain America in that sense, the Captain America from the Marvel universe as well, the movies. That old school values. Love it. SXS says, what do you think about Mr. Terrific? Everyone says he stole a show. I wouldn't say he stole a show, but he was great. He was great. People are saying that, Who knows? Maybe the racist, they want to bring a race into it. It's possible. The actor was great. Great role. Arrogant as hell, the character. Really arrogant. Uh, but he backs it up to some extent. Um, let's see. Art says his parents sounded Arab and told him to conquer and build a harem unexpectedly based. Hilarious art. Very funny. The bearded, also Jarrell, right? Uh, I think the actress might be of Arabic descent as well. Bradley Cooper clearly isn't. But interesting to conquer, right? And I think Muslims are trying to be that one victim country. They're trying to own that. It's like, how about you own the Jarrell thing? Why not that? Because you'd back that. Having a harem, right? Conquering. The hell. Back that up, right? Interesting. Brandon May, love your art. Thanks, man. Brandon May, who was your biggest artistic influence? It's two. It's two. Frank Miller and Alex Toth. I have a lot of other ones that I love. Walt Emerson, Dave Mazzucchelli, John Romita Sr., Jr., Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby, a lot of John Buscema. But the big two, Brandon, are Frank Miller and Alex Toth. Frank Miller for his storytelling and writing. More his storytelling than his draftsmanship. He's not a great draftsman. He never has been. Never has been. You look at parts, even however great Dark Knight Returns is, and it's great. There's parts where you're like, what the fuck? What was he thinking? What was the director? What was the editors thinking? They could have, but the storytelling is so strong that you overlook it. Whereas Alex Toth now, the illustrator, who wrote some stories as well. I got the huge version, artist edition of Bravo for Adventure. To me, hands down, the greatest comic book artist of all time. Hands down. He outdrew them all. He was more innovative than anyone. It seemed like he loved the medium, and he did not do monthly books and just throw it out there. He wanted to take his time. He wrote he did short stories every so often, covers here and there. He didn't have as much material, clearly, as Jack Kirby or John Buscema. But his work is the finest comic book art. It's just the finest. The most thoughtful and the most innovative in his line work. His finished work to me is the best of any finished work of anyone ever. He happened to be, to me, the greatest inker for himself, not just for himself, but the greatest inker. Terry also is great, but to me, Alex Toth, when he was at his peak, and again, when he was at his peak, he got better and better and better. I didn't really care too much about his early stuff. He actually said at one point, he spent the first half of his career putting everything in his art, the second half trying to take everything out. Now, that's not necessarily true, because he didn't skimp on necessary detail, on engines and stuff, on planes, on this and that. No skimping at all. Cars, absolutely not. You pop open the engine, you see he drew everything that's necessary to be drawn in there. So again, Brandon, Frank Miller for his storytelling and writing in particular, my greatest influence there, and then Alex Toth for the comic book art. The best of the best. Those two. The highest, the best writer, the best artist. Comics Exposed says, I did not like how they changed the characters. Lex did not create the engineer. Jor-El did not send Kal-El to Earth for world domination. Crypto was very annoying, just took too many liberties. Damn, man, I feel bad for you, Comics Exposed. You seem to really have a hard time with this. Sit back, man. Take a breather. Take a breather. Enjoy it for what it is. Lex was great. Lex was a ruthless bad guy. Evil. And it doesn't matter the technicality about he didn't create it. So who cares? Who cares? This is a movie universe that's starting fresh. It's not bound by the comics. It's not. Elements that you have to take, of course. Coming from Krypton, you have to. And coming to Earth, you have to. Raised by the Kents, you have to. Daily Planet, all these, iconic things, you gotta have them. That's part of the deal. You can't change those things. The other elements, I got no problem with that whatsoever. I have no problem with that. And again, that idea about the elves being evil, we'll see. We will see. If you get a character, think about it, guys. If you get an actor like Bradley Cooper, who, by the way, if you've seen The Righteous Gemstones, if you haven't, I recommend the show. It's hilarious. A little too crude at times, but hilarious. Bradley Cooper played one of their descendants, their first, I guess, preacher. The first episode, I believe, of the fourth and final season. He was great in there. Great. Great role. Ate it up. Kicked ass with it. You're not going to have an actor with of that caliber to play a little blip of a moment. No. We're going to see him. We're going to see him in the next one. We're going to see more video, more of this and that, maybe from Brainiac or from who knows what. You don't get an actor of that caliber to just pop in. We don't understand a word he's saying. He's there for a few seconds here and there. No, I don't think so. I think they're going to get more of him. So we will see. And I hope John's right, because John actually thought of it. It was great. By the way, John also said that he was the only one who was positive about the movie. That's not true, man. I was the one pushing back on the Kings when Ethan was showing the trailer. Everyone was shitting on it. I was like, guys, this is not Friday Night Tights. What the hell? You guys are shitting on this. I said, we don't know. I said, I hope it's good. I'm not crazy about the marketing. I admit that. And people don't seem to like the argument between Lois and Clark. Loved it. Challenging each other. Getting some punches in their first argument, right? She is different than him. And it happened to come home that night. The idea, well, a woman's place is, she's her own woman. We understand that from 80 years ago. Lois was always her own woman. Always. So I like that because it's a fight worth having. It's not just some petty fight. It's a fight worth having. Comics Exposed says, the movie looked very nice but fell very flat. I'm not even sure that I watched a superhero movie when I watched Superman. You're kidding me. Comics Exposed. Come on, man. This is the most comic book Superman movie ever. The most comic book Superman movie ever. Come on, man. The bright blue, the bright red, the bright yellow. Man of Steel might as well have been black, that costume. Purple cape. The yellow was very muted. The picture was drained of color. This one is like exploding with comic book color. And you got all the characters in there. You have the Justice Gang. You have Metamorpho. You have Ultraman. You have, I don't know, man. It's like, have we seen two different movies here? Are you sure you saw this, Comic Exposed? Look, man, people are going to have their opinion clearly, but I definitely want to go back and forth because it's alien to me to watch it say, that's not a comic book movie, that's not a Superman movie. It's like, what the hell? Hell yeah. SXS says, you got to promote this channel when you're back on King's Trash. I would love to. Yeah, I definitely will. I forget about it. It's so funny. I never really mentioned my YouTube channel, my regular one, when I was on there, when I was on King's for the last year. I haven't mentioned it. I've been there for about a year now, which is pretty damn cool, guys. I remember when I was, welcomed in, blown away, just blown away. It's been great to be part of it. Comics Exposed is still trashing it. Look, let's see. It was lazy writing too. Before Gunn is done with Superman, we'll see Doomsday, and all that Doomsday will be is a mutated version of Superman. Now, I got a question. If you saw this Comics Exposed, because there's that moment there, if you remember the Ultraman, remember that? Where he comes out and he has that Doomsday, the goggles and the ripped thing. It looked just like the comic books. I'm not saying that that's Doomsday, this clone. But that's as close as we got so far. And this movie maybe established that already. So, I don't know. He was stronger than Superman, not as smart, ruthless, and also controlled by an evil man. So, did you notice that? Or you were, I guess, too busy thinking about Christopher Reeve? But you were there, remember that moment or no? When they crashed to Earth, they're in the tunnels, I guess, the subways. And Ultraman, he stands up and his mask is ripped and he has the goggles with the gray suit. That was how Doomsday appeared in the comics 30 years ago, if you remember that. So, Comics Exposed says, I just watched Man of Steel and teared up on two parts of that movie. That movie took the character a lot more serious, and I appreciate that. Look, I like that as well. I mean, I love the fact that we have a Man of Steel in this Superman version. I love it. I can enjoy both. Both actors were great in it. They both represented Superman well. There were elements in Man of Steel really good. Um, Flat out too dark for Superman, though. Just too dark. Superman is a hopeful, benevolent being. They kept saying the reason why they pushed the idea of hope, 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 hope in a movie. You know why Comics Exposed? Because he wasn't a hopeful character, or the situation, or the way the public saw him. It wasn't a hopeful character. That's why they kept laying it on so thick. Because Zack Snyder, part of him, understood. I have to, and if you have to talk about how hopeful you are, it's like Muslims saying how peaceful they are, leftists saying how tolerant they are, right? If you got to talk about how hopeful you are over and over again, nah. Because even in Superman and Batman, they kept talking about a symbol of hope. Where was he a symbol of hope in Man of Steel to Superman and Batman? He was there a very, very, very short time. He was not a symbol of hope. He was a symbol of fear. People didn't know what to make of him. He wasn't as friendly, as open. And there's an aspect here in the new movie that David Cornswet said that he fought to put the shorts on, right? And there's something about that in a sense where Zack Snyder said he couldn't. He tried in a million different ways, but he couldn't pull it off. James Gunn felt the same, but David Cornswet supposedly fought for it. Said, look, Superman's so powerful, you got to make him look a little hokey, like a wrestler, shorts outside of your pants, And I'll do that now, actually. And there's something about it where he undermines his power, his threat level, where he's a little more friendly to children. If you notice, the kids ran to Superman. They didn't run to the Justice Gang to hug him in that moment. Just a little moment there. It tells you something. He seems a little far more approachable than the Justice Gang. Far more. Bright, red, blue, yellow. No mask, no nothing. Open. There's something about that. It undermines, it brings down the potential that he's an alien. Comics Exposed says, there was never a moment where Superman finished anything. Even the end fight with Ultraman needed a black hole to defeat him. Damn. You are a negative Nancy, man. What the hell? I mean, look, man, keep bringing it, but what the hell, man? He found a way to do it. Yeah, he did do it. He used the black hole to defeat him. That's smart. That's smart. It's hilarious. We always got one guy to bring down the moment, but bring it on, man. Anyone else who hates it, please come on down. I'm not going to agree with you. I'm not going to also insult you, but definitely go back and forth with you and argue against your positions, because I think you went out there with a sour, rotten attitude, Comics Exposed. I really do. I think you went in there like, just take a breather. There's a new Superman movie out there, 2025, after all the shit we've gone through in movies, burning us out. He's not gay in this. He's a man. He loves a woman. He doesn't have purple hair. He looks like Superman. He acts like Superman. I mean, we're lucky. And from a guy like James Gunn in particular, keep that in mind also. A guy like James Gunn to do this, hats off, man. Hats off. Hey, Richard Guerrero, I loved it. Want to see you again. Absolutely, man. Awesome. I did Comics Exposed. I just did that, actually. I appreciate the mention about my mic. Let me know if you guys can hear it better, or maybe I might even put it a little louder here, actually. Let me see if I can put it a little louder. If that's okay. I hope it's not too loud now. Let me know, though. Thanks, Comics Exposed. Appreciate it. Richard Gradwell says, Comics Exposed, Clark let his father die when it was easily within his power to save him. Sorry, no thanks. Good point, man. Good point. That's not a hopeful thing. That's not a necessarily a Superman thing to do. That's a Zack Snyder thing to do. And while within the context of the movie and his understanding of the threat that his son, it was unnecessary because Superman could have went did the runaround and got him or brought him back without anyone noticing. That's how fast he is. It's a fine line. It's a fine line. Taking it as within context, it's like okay, but not a very okay. Let me ask you, comics exposed. However much you hate this movie, right? Do you think this version of Superman would have allowed that to happen, or would he have done everything he could to save Pa Kent? Come on, come on. Great point, Richard. Great point. Um, Comics Exposed says there was a point that a father was willing to sacrifice himself for. I know, but it was unnecessary. Comics Exposed. Superman could have found a way. There's always right. What's the main thing in the comics? There's always a way, right? There's always a way. He is a symbol of hope. Um, Not the way the Man of Steel did it, like only words. It was all words. It's like, okay, a symbol of hope would let his father die. And why would he sacrifice himself for no reason? There was no reason to do that. He could have saved everyone there and thrown his shirt over his head. I don't know. He could see through that. Let's just say something. People died. Not just his father, probably. Others did. It's a tough moment. And I was very into that because there were aspects of it that I really loved. There was one aspect of that where Jonathan Kent is talking to young Clark about possibly letting the kids die, if you remember that. So it's not just that he's trying to sacrifice himself, comics expose it. His father was willing, Clark, to sacrifice children. And he wouldn't do that, you know. And his father said, he goes, what am I supposed to do? Let him die? He goes, maybe. Now, I love that brings us to argue about these things outside of the theater. Because this really sparked a lot of online discussion, this movie that we just saw. A lot. I love that. That means we give a damn. No, almost no one's indifferent to this movie. That's what you want, for art. And however much big it is, and it's DC and Warner Bros. And movies, in the end, it's a work of art. Does it work or not? And does it get you? Does it get you? In your mind and your heart? Does it get you to feel? So, this movie works, man. It works. I'm really impressed with James Gunn. He pulled it off. I wasn't sure if he had the heroic in him, to be honest. If he had the heroic in him, but he does. He does. And Crypto was cool as hell. I love seeing this new element in the Superman universe on screen. I loved it. I loved it. It's cool as hell. First of all, I love dogs. And seeing Crypto is cool. And not just this friendly, sweet Crypto. He's an ass. He's he's trouble. But he saves the day at times. He's there when you need him to be. So that was very, very cool. Richard says, and no man who could save his father from death would just let him die only for the sake of protecting his identity. You either hate your father or you're just a Snyder bro. That's hilarious, Richard. That's hilarious. There was no point to it. Sorry that cut off. Yeah. His father didn't sacrifice himself. He just got carried away by a tornado. Yeah. SXS says, I love Dark Knight Returns, but the talking heads are a slog. Definitely a swing and a miss. That's funny. I love that. And again, I'm doing that right now. I'm working on a book that is all talking heads in a lot of ways. I mean, it is. And I'm trying to make it as visually interesting as I can. I'm showing, buildings and objects and close-ups and this and that, angles, overhead shots, everything I can to make it visually interesting. But I love good dialogue, and that was great dialogue, Dark Knight Returns. I didn't skimp on that. I devoured every word on there. The more the better, because I know that I'm in the hands of a good writer. So I love that aspect. There was a lot of words in Watchmen as well. There's a reason why SXS, that they are top tier, that they're the ones everyone talks about. And they're both DC. Marvel doesn't have that. Marvel has, the closest it has is, I think, Born Again Daredevil. And by who? The same guy who made one of the others. Now I love Amazing Spider-Man. I'm rereading the Lee and Ditko right now. After that, I'm going to read the Stern, reread the Stern and Romita Jr., and then the DeFalco and Friends, which I've gotten more of an appreciation over the years. It was really good, man. It's really good. Unfortunately, there was editorial conflicts with James Owsley, who ended up being Christopher Priest. He was very young. Um, he was green. He didn't quite. He clashed with DeFalco and Friends, and they did it for like 25 issues, and I think it petered out in a very bad, sad way, unfortunately. But their 20 issue one was really good. 25 maybe. Good stuff. Comics Exposed says, dude, don't start name calling like an SJW. I'm not a Snyder, bro. There was a point to the sacrifice. It was to protect Clark. John Kent understood what he was doing, and I think he went on. But I'll read this, guys. I'm definitely into this. The build up, the way that Kent was a pretty dark Jonathan Kent. Very scared for his son, knowing the government and how corrupt they can be and how they want to dissect him, more or less, you know. One of the best parts of that relationship was when he finally tells the very young Clark, maybe 15, 16, he shows him the ship. And the actor tells Jonathan Kent, can I still pretend that you're my father? Can I still pretend that I'm your son? It's a heartbreaking moment, man. And Kevin Costner, Jonathan Kent grabs him. Of course you're my son, you know? He's about to break. And he keeps it. There's power in that also. You don't always gotta blubber. God damn it. What's his name? Jordan Peterson, okay? Whatever value he has, right? You can't go on show to show to show and blubber. You can't do that as a man. You can't. Hold it. Hold it. And if you can't hold it, get off the stage for a while until you can. There's power in sucking it up a little at times. But his voice broke a little. Jonathan Kennedy goes, you are my son. You know, he's like he didn't want Clark to think, can I still pretend that you're my father? You know, he's like, he feels terrible now. It's like, he goes, sorry, can I still pretend that I'm your son? He goes, you are my son. And he has to hold him, embrace him. I love you, son. I love you. Okay? Don't think that way. That's powerful. That's powerful. Great moment. And I give credit to Zack Snyder and David Goyer and Christopher Nolan, who produced it. Again, there are elements in there that are great. And again, elements of Man of Steel are great. This also. I love the fact that you can have two very different movies about the same character and still be recognizable as a character. Even though I truly, you know, they push the alien aspect a lot in the Man of Steel. Try to put fear into the world a little more than this one did. This world embraced Superman as the world in the comics embraced him. He's one of their own. He's our guy, you know. Richard Gravel says, please stop Comic Exposed. You either hate your father or you're a Snyder pro. If you don't like the comic, don't try to defend the indefensible. That is funny stuff, guys. You guys are going at it pretty hard. Comic Exposed says it should be bound to the actual facts of the characters. That's why I just said there are no characters anymore, especially in Hollywood. Hold on a second, Comic Exposed. You can't actually tell me that you saw this movie or shitting on it, and then you look at Man of Steel. That was a far bigger departure of Superman than this one. Far bigger. They didn't stick to it. They didn't. I mean, he's an alien creature, dark, this and that, and he kills in a movie and all that. And it's like, personally, I mean, I cheer what happened because it was like unexpected. Like, holy shit, this movie's got some balls. And again, I enjoy it, but you can't look at this and say this was less of a Superman movie and Man of Steel was more of a Superman movie. I think this was far more of a Superman movie. Far more of the comic books than that was. Big time. Big time. That's why comics supposed continues. That's why I said there are no characters anymore, especially in Hollywood. When you change so many things, nothing has any foundation. It's a very cynical view, I gotta say. Very cynical. And then you insult Richard. I don't know, man. Keep it cool, guys. You know, let's have a discussion here. Uh, Snyder, bro, that's not as bad as calling him an idiot. Comics exposed. SXS says, how much Birthright went into this movie because I hated Birthright, the small vilification of Superman. I remember Birthright years ago, the piece of shit Mark Wade and Lionel Yu. Elements pretty cool, but I don't remember too much, so I can't say because it didn't ring a bell. What rung a bell for me was All Star Superman. I think this, not that it's adaptation of it, but a similar Superman. Gosh, golly, little more approachable, friendly. Um, Not this, again, Man of Steel, right? You got this family on a rooftop. There's a flood, right? And Superman, Zack Snyder's Superman, guys, is floating above them 100 feet and looking down on them. And it's going there for seconds. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Go! Save them! What's the point there? Because it's a cool visual? Stupid. He's looking down on them. Move! It's like Batman in the first Batman movie, '89. The retarded moment where Joker is terrorizing Gotham, right? Batman is in his ship flying up in air, right? And he goes up above the clouds and he goes up to the moon to make a bat symbol. Eh? The audience, eh? Pathetic. Pathetic. I hate that. That's when the stupid, you know, artist says, that's a beautiful shot. Does it fit? No. Get it out of there. Get it out of there. Make the movie beautiful. Make beautiful shots within the story. Don't put a snapshot. Eh? Don't do that. Stupid. Stupid. I didn't see that kind of stuff in this movie. That kind of symbol of hope and looking over above people and like, I can save you, but I'm going to pose here for about a minute. Terrible. I hate that stuff. Art Haida says, saw the 40X 3D. 3D was pretty good. Motion was wild. My neck was sore. I saw 40X, I think, in Home, Far From Home, the last Spider-Man movie. I didn't like it too much. I just didn't. Spray and moving and it's okay. All right, yeah, you guys are going at it. Sorry, guys. I mean, I do want to go at it personally. I love, but within the bounds, you know. No need to call idiots and stuff. And um, all right, I'm gonna skip some stuff here, guys, because you guys are going at it, and that's cool. But again, I'm happy this movie exists. 2025, that you have a very wholesome Superman. Great attitude, a great actor playing him. He was fantastic. David Cornsweet. He was great. He looked the part. He's 6'4". He filled up that suit. He's a good guy. Comes off. He exudes goodness. A little insecurity, which is fine by me. I mean, he's not this confident Bruce Wayne type, you know, Batman. He's not. He's more of a, you know, average guy. Of course, he's not. I mean, we know that he's a sewer being, but his attitude is more of a good guy. And I mean, one little element, you know, he saves the squirrel when this big battle coming around. That's that's a nice, sweet thing to do for life. It has life. It's not he sees it and just dismisses it. It's just a squirrel. No, he'll save it. He'll save humans. He'll save that. He'll save the dog. He'll blow the dog away. That's nice. You would never have seen the Man of Steel version ever do that. They didn't put him in a position to do that. They want to make him floating above a whole family who is suffering, and he's like, terrible, guys. I can't stand that stuff. It's a pose. It's like, we understand that you think about comic book form, like, but that's static images in comics. You don't do the static image in movies. The best version of that, if you're gonna do that, is Avengers, Age of Ultron. That moment where they're all about to fight the Hydra. Remember that? Like a snapshot type thing. That's cool. That's cool. I like it. Like the old Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon. Whenever he fought these guys, they stopped the animation to show these shots. Bam! It's fun. It's fun. That's the way to do it. Not where Superman's frozen in the air looking down. It's not frozen. He's actually moving. His cape's flowing. So he's looking down on people who need desperate help, and they're put their hands up to him. It's like, why aren't you down there? What are you doing? And again, the Batman also going up to the moon to show the bat symbol because his ship looks like just like a bat, right? So yeah, people are dying down there. I mean, that's why you can't take Tim Burton seriously. I can. I can't. Nolan, went the extreme opposite, meaning everything is deadly serious. But there's a reason why he's the most beloved, version of that character, at least to me. I think so. Even though Ben Affleck did a good job as Batman, he really did. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I mean, Comics Exposed, I gotta say, I'm willing to, but you're just shitting on this, man. It's like, damn, I feel bad for you. It's like, I think you have the same attitude that a number of people have in the chat. Like, this shit sucked. It's like, this, it didn't suck. It's good. I mean, it didn't suck. Superman's a very benevolent, good guy. And that came through big time in his movie. And he got hurt 100%. He got broken. Remember that? He got broken, guys. And he gets back up without hesitation. That's a hero. It's like all you're looking at is like, he's tearing up and he's broken. Yeah. And he gets back up and he fights. And he laughs and he's happy. He loves a woman, Lois. They're having this conflict there, and it's more or less resolved. I mean, I love that. SXS says, wasn't a fan of Man of Steel. It just seemed like a dumb guy, Snyder, trying to imitate a smarter, more talented director than Nolan. There's truth in that, SXS, because he is dumb. Zack Snyder, he's stupid. He is. I dare you to listen to him speak. It's impossible. It's impossible to sit through without saying, what the fuck? What? The dumbest things come out of his mouth. Really stupid. Nolan's far more thoughtful, and Nolan's better, clearly. By the way, I saw a little sneak at The Odyssey, Nolan's movie. A little sneak, very short, look cool. I think Shane said it looked bad. It's not to me. I don't know what looked bad. Like the suits, people saying the suits. What does that mean? Suits look great. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I think people are, again, they're also protecting themselves from liking things. They've been so burned that they're gonna preemptively shit on it. Like, again, Comics Exposed. I assume you didn't like any of the marketing, and I assume you went to the theater in a huff. It's like, bro, take a breather. You're a comic book fan. Your name's Comics Exposed. Now, maybe you're not a fan. Maybe you're a critic of comics. That's why Comics Exposed. You want to expose them for the bad things they are. Take a breather. Go in there with a better attitude. I say it to anyone. If you haven't seen it, go there with an open mind. I don't go into a movie thinking it's gonna suck. Why the fuck would I go? Why did you go, Comics Exposed? Other people I think David Williams or something, he is shitting on it. It's like, why'd you go? It's like, the point is that it doesn't. I don't get it. Don't waste time then. If you think it's shit, don't waste time. Just don't. I didn't think it was shit. I figured that the movie's better than the trailers because I was like, that marketing was not good at all. It got better. I think the last trailer was better. And then a few TV spots, and I stopped watching altogether. I was like, I don't want to see anymore. I'm good. But at that point, I was like, this is good. Wow. I can't believe it's been, over an hour now. Comic Exposed said, yeah, I remember that moment. I'm just saying that it's already a recycled idea within this new DCU. I was hoping for more originality. I'm not sure what moment you're talking about. Sorry. Huh. Comic Exposed says, I can't believe to me, I can't believe how much you're fanboying over this movie. I appreciate your opinion, but I thought you may have had higher expectations. Comic Exposed, I love superheroes. I love these movies. I'm not some conservative pundit who doesn't give a fuck for these movies and goes and shits on it, which is what they're all doing. I want it to be good. Now, I don't go there trying to, it'll be good no matter what. Absolutely not. If it sucks, it sucks. But I love the fact that I can go watch a Superman movie 2025 after all the shit we've seen and come out and say, that was good. That was a good experience. And I can't wait to find out more of this universe and the Batman. Who is the Batman in this universe? Who's the Wonder Woman? Who's the Flash? And so on. You know, from the Justice Gang to the Justice League. I'm looking forward to that very much. So if you're surprised that I'm quote unquote fanboying, I'm surprised that you're shitting on it as much as you are if you like comics. I don't get that. So, um, okay. Comic Expo says, send me the link. Let's talk in person. I don't even know how to do that. I've never done it before, but I don't know what that means either. Let's talk in person. It's like, are you saying pull up? Are you doing a every July? Let's chat. Let's chat on thing, and then maybe, eventually, maybe, because I don't even know how to do that. I don't know how to invite people. I don't, or else I would. I would have invited Shant by now. I mean, Shant's been very generous with his time on his channel with me. I just got to figure it out. Um, hey, Jeremy. How's it going, my man? Good Charlie T, my man. I used to like Swamp Thing. I never cared for that. I know that the Alan Moore thing was supposed to be great. I never really, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get into it. Supposedly there's a Swamp Thing in this universe that'll be happening. We'll see. We'll see. Jeremy Bird says, I just saw Superman. I liked it. Awesome. Awesome. Uh, Sorry for what, Richard? Don't apologize. I don't think you did anything wrong. I think Comic Exposed got a little heated there, calling you idiot. That's out of line. You know, but you can defend yourself. I'm not. I don't try to. Hey. No, you guys can go at it, but that crosses the line. Snyder, bro, is one thing. Idiot, you know, it's a little different. Um, Comics Exposed says there are things that I did not like about it, but there are things that I didn't like. There are things that I did like about it. I get it. I mean, you don't have to like everything about it. I get it, but it seems like you came on there to shit on it. That was your thing. I was excited to see it. I was really looking forward to seeing it. Let's talk. Only so much can be conveyed in text. No pull up. Let's live stream together about this. I'll invite Shant if you want. Meaning on your channel? I don't know. See, I don't know how to do it here. And I'm not sure who you are because comic exposed, what does that mean to me? I don't know. Who are you? Are you a guy out there? I don't know. Are you JDA? So we'll do that at some point, maybe. But your attitude right now, I don't know, man. I don't know where you come from. You're shitting on this movie. It's fine, but then you call a guy an idiot over it. It's like, I don't know. I don't think it's warranted at all. Richard was just, liking this movie and saying some things in Man of Steel were not good, like that scene with Pa Kent. A lot of people had a problem with that. But again, and Snyder is such an idiot that I think when he tried to explain it, it was like, that sucked. That didn't work. So yeah, comic exposed. If you want to go at it at some point, sure. But I don't know how to do this here. Maybe invite me at some point and we'll have it out, about this movie because I'm willing to defend it. You're willing to trash it, so that's cool. If anyone's out there, any more comments, cool. Because I'm gonna get going. Actually, I got to get some work done before bedtime. I got this one thing. I got these 2 pages to do before bed every time. Uh, yeah, well, comic exposed. That's a fine line. I didn't call anyone an idiot. I said you're acting like one. Come on. All you hear is idiot in that kind of exchange. Not tonight, comic exposed. I can't. No, I got to get work done. This is longer than I intended. Also, I just want to come here and talk about the movie and share my thoughts about it. And again, bring it on, challenge, absolutely. You know. So at one point, comic exposed, but again, I don't really know you. I don't. I like to go in about knowing some certain people at times. I know people hide behind certain things like this. Comic exposed. Who are you? I don't know. You know who I am. Um, and again, it's like people sometimes. Hey, let me go. It's like, nah. I'm not really. If I know someone, if I know, I have a good idea where they come from. Even if I did disagree with them, fine. You know, there's no name, there's no nothing here. So at one point, reach out. Reach out. I'm on X. Um, all right, guys. Looks like no more comments here. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. We got some good eyeballs on here. I couldn't get up on. I want to get up on 3 different places at once, but I couldn't do it, unfortunately. Um, I want to get on Facebook as well. Couldn't do it. And about this, just going to politics just for a minute. What Trump's doing with this thing is terrible. It's not good. You don't go campaign and have your people campaign and set you up for this release of these files of this you know pedophile ring, and then say, come on, that's a hoax now. He's calling it a hoax. It's like, what the hell, man? He's given his critics fuel. It's a really stupid attitude that he's having. Terrible. Terrible. Um, well, reach out, Comic Expose, and let me know. And if you have a channel, I can check out your channel to see if you're a sincere person. Cool. We'll see. Anyway, guys, you take care. Be well. Until next time. And I will try to stream more. I finally got back to some channel here on backup channel at least. I still can't get to my old account, my main account, the one that has it's monetized and all that. Even though I wasn't monetized after I was, and so on. It sucks, man. It really sucks. But if you're not subscribed to this, if you can subscribe, I would really appreciate it, guys. If you're on X, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would appreciate it. If this is going on your feed on X, just follow me. And we can have talks like this as well, because I really enjoyed it. You guys take care. Be well. Thanks, man.